Barcelona have been eliminated from the Copa del Rey in prideful fashion. In a game where Barcelona had 4 goals that they had to come back from, they just about missed out on it, losing 3-0 or 3-4 overall on the night. I'm back with another video. You guys thought I wouldn't be making a video on Barcelona's elimination. I am here. Through wins, losses, draws, I am here. But this defeat against Atletico Madrid, of course, on face value is a defeat that nobody wanted to see. Of course, after the first leg, it was going to be a big mountain to climb. But I think this defeat tells us a whole lot about this team and also tells us that there's a lot to look forward to with this team. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning member, welcome back. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I cannot do without your help. So please, if you enjoy the content, hit the post notification bell so you never ever miss out on a video. And let's get right back into it. So this game against Atletico Madrid, we all knew coming into it what we needed to do. I think today's performance from Barcelona for me, as the video is probably going to be titled, I don't know what's going to be titled at this moment in time, but when it is released, you'll know what the title is. And I titled it that way because for me, I think this performance today, it was really a homage back to the performances of last season. It was a performance that once again tells you that this team can be one of the best teams in world football. I mean, today you look at the performances from top to bottom throughout the team, and we'll talk about the good things before we talk about the negatives and we talk about the future and what this result can mean for Barcelona. I think today, the lineup from Hansi Flick, you saw João Cancelo come into the team to replace Alejandro Balde, who for me has not been that great this season. João Cancelo came in from Saudi Arabia. There's been a lot of question marks around whether he can really offer us anything in this team. But today he was incredible. He offered so much on the wide areas, on the left-hand side when he was supporting Rafinha, on the right-hand side when he was supporting Yamal. He's an attacking fullback. He's not the best defensively, but he's going to offer you a lot going forward. And in this sort of game, in this sort of scenario, that's exactly what you need. Someone like Jules Koundé is not going to offer you that. Somebody like Alejandro Balde has really struggled in doing that, offering that width and being an actual threat from fullback positions. I thought João Cancelo was fantastic today. I thought the defense today, of course, being 4-0 down, the defense is not the most important part of the team. But I think it is very easy, especially when you're chasing a lead that's big. It's really easy to get caught up in what you're trying to do. And the defense can sometimes lose track of what they have to do in the game. And Atletico Madrid have a lot of dangerous players. We saw it in the first leg. Ademola Lookman, Griezmann, Julian Alvarez. I thought Cubarsí and Gerard Martin handled them really well. And Gerard Martin, you have to give him a lot of praise. This is a player who last season, for me, I think he was one of the main reasons why we got knocked out. 2 players today who got injured, Koundé and Balde, they were not present for majority of the semifinals last season in the Champions League. And I think that was the main reason why Barcelona got knocked out. But this season, you really have to hand it to him. Him and Eric Garcia, Gerard Martin and Eric Garcia have been really, really great. They may not be the highest quality, but they give you that consistency. They play almost every game, and they really do their best out on the field. I think someone like Pau Cubarsí, a player who's come up under so much criticism, and I don't think the way we play helps a player like him. He's a player who likes to have a ball, a player who's really good when he's able to chaperone the team and see the game from the forward, kind of from the forward angle. But the way that we play forces him to go backwards literally every single minute. And of course, I will caveat all the criticism for the defenders by saying the system we play doesn't really encourage defenders to play at a higher level. Jules Koundé has been poor the entire season. Alejandro Balde, we said it as well. But it's really difficult to defend when you play the way that Barcelona do. And we saw it in that first leg. When things are not clicking, this defense can look absolutely terrible. Of course, Atletico Madrid got chances today, but we kept them to very minimal chances. And I think Barcelona, irrespective of the fact that they still had to go out and score 4 goals, because for me, the question was never, could Barcelona go out and score 4 goals? Could Barcelona go out and score enough goals? It was really just a question of, can we keep them shut out at the other end? And today they did that, and unfortunately, it's the goals that they can get. You keep moving across the field. Pedri Gonzalez. Guys, this is the best midfielder in world football. I don't really know what else you guys want me to tell you. I don't know. Look, you know what? Relax. I have this jersey hung up in my room. Pedro Gonzalez, number 8. We signed this guy from Las Palmas. What was that, 6 years ago now? Still, I think he's 24 or 23 years old at this moment in time. This guy, along with Frenkie de Jong, who I also have a jersey of. People will criticize Frenkie de Jong, but we're not talking about him today. For me, Pedri Gonzalez continues to show you why he is the best midfielder in world football. It doesn't matter who you put next to him, whether it's Bernal, whether it's de Jong, whether it's Eric Garcia, Dani Olmo, Casado. This guy can dictate games on his own. And today, again, I keep on mentioning it, when Barcelona are chasing the game the way they did, it's very easy to get caught up in the chaos of the midfield. It's very easy to lose control of the game. It's very easy to kind of just let the game pass you by. But today, Pedri, along with the person next to him, Marc Bernal, were incredible. Their ability to win the ball back time after time after time. And I think this is a trait of Pedri Gonzalez that's not talked about enough. We talk about, his silk on the ball. We talk about his dribbling ability, his passing, his pausa, his calmness when he has the ball in possession. But this guy's ability to win the ball back is generally one of the best in world football. And it doesn't really match with the physique of the player. It doesn't match whatsoever. You look at a Declan Rice, that's the sort of player you expect to be doing the things that Pedri does. But Pedri gives you the technical side of things, and he also gives you that grit. You saw in the 70th minute, Casado was warming up to come on because Pedri just came back from injury, we need to add. And Pedri tells Hansi Flick, don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about it. I'm playing 90 minutes. Left it all out there today. And that's one thing you can say for every single player out there today. They left it all out on the field. Whether they played well or not, you can have that discussion. But every single one of them played their heart out tonight. And you cannot discredit them for that. Marc Bernal continues to show great performances these last few weeks. I remember when he got injured against Rayo Vallecano just over a year ago. It was a really sad moment for the club because I think his development was really going on a great trajectory. And I think this season, as he started to grow back into the games and grow back into the tempo and gain some more minutes and some more match fitness and match sharpness, you're starting to see the level of Marc Bernal once again. They said he's the Sergio Busquets regen, but he's even showing an ability to get into the box. And it really prongs the question that when Frenkie de Jong does come back, as much as I love Frenkie de Jong, and I'll keep on harping about how good Frenkie de Jong is, Marc Bernal is really making a case for himself in that midfield. Scores 2 goals today, offered himself in every single moment in the game, ran back, covered for defenders when they were moving up. Him and Pedri Gonzalez were just incredible today. The man in the number 10 position, Fermin Lopez. Keep on saying with Fermin Lopez, he's a great player to watch, but there are games where it feels like the game kind of just passes him by. It feels like he's trying to do too much. It feels like he's not really offering as much as you'd hope. I was really hoping that we would see a bit more interplay in the central areas. Of course, that is the most congested area of the field for Barcelona or for Atletico Madrid's defense. But I was kind of hoping Barcelona would play a bit more in those areas. And people in those areas were the likes of Fermin, Ferran, Rafinha, who for me, those three were probably the worst players on the field today. Rafinha today, we also have to remember he's just coming back from injury just under 2 weeks ago. So he's still building match sharpness. But Rafinha this year has not been as good as he was last year. That's just the facts. Injuries have hampered him for sure. But at the same time, he's not giving us that end product. His decision-making in certain moments, it's not as good as it was last season. He's not as clinical as he was last season. There are moments in this game where I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, you need to play that pass. You need to be a bit more clinical. You need to be a bit more sharp. You need to be a bit more incisive. And he just doesn't have it. As for Ferran Torres, I am relinquishing Ferran Torres of his naming rights on this channel. You guys can call him whatever you want in your household. I am now referring to Ferran Torres as number 7. Number 7 today, once again, did nothing in the striking position. Unfortunately for every single Barcelona fan on the planet, Lewandowski was ruled out with the eye socket injury that he sustained against Villarreal, which meant Lewandowski did not play this game, which meant we had to throw Araujo on towards the final few minutes to actually have a striker because number 7 just wasn't offering us anything. He can't drop deep. He can't run the channels. He doesn't offer any sort of physicality in the air. He's not clinical when he does get the ball. He doesn't create space for his teammates. I really don't know what number 7 does, and I'm praying that Lewandowski can recover as quickly as possible because if number 7 is the player that we're going to move into the peak part of the season with, it could get scary. Rashford as well, he came off the bench and he offered a lot. He tried his best, but just didn't really work out for him. And towards the final moments, I felt as though Barcelona were really just hoofing the ball into the box. I think when Balde got injured, we'll come on to that. When Balde got injured and we started just hoofing the ball into the box when Araujo came on, went into the striker position, and it felt like we were just crossing the ball and praying and hoping that something would happen. Of course, it worked with Marc Bernal, but after that, it was kind of just 20 minutes of Barcelona crossing the ball to nobody. But for me, the best player on the night, the best player in the team, the best player in the world, Lamine Yamal once again shows up, an assist for the first goal. He had Ruggeri on skates. Like, my goodness, that brother was suffering at left back against Lamine Yamal today. Best player in the world. I've talked about it in previous videos. His ability to drive, his ability to come short, his ability to interplay with Cancelo, his ability to run in behind, jink past 1, 2, 3, 4 players, his ability to get to the byline and cut it back for teammates, his ability to just create chances out of nothing, his ability to draw players towards him, create spaces for other players, and then play those passes to those players. Lamine Yamal, once again, best player on the field by a country mile, only arguably with Pedri. Lamine Yamal, he receives the ball. He's the player that we look to for inspiration in most of these games. And if I had to talk about the negatives for Barcelona today, I talked about some of them briefly, like Ferran Torres, like Rafinha, like Fermin. But those final 15, 20 minutes when it was 3-0 and there were still about 20 minutes left on the clock, I felt as though Barcelona could have been a bit more calm. I thought there was enough time on the clock for you to kind of settle the game down a little bit and play a bit more incisive, just as we've been playing the previous 75 minutes. Because honestly, this is one of the best performances Barcelona have dropped the entire season. One of the best performances Barcelona has dropped the entire season. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we just could not get it done. A huge, huge performance from the team. A great showing today. And for me, I can't really be mad. And this was a lesson for me in life, because going 4-0 down, and ultimately that's what killed Barcelona in this tie. That's ultimately what killed Barcelona in this tie. It's not the bad performance from Rafinha today. It's not the bad performance from Ferran. It's not the poor performance from Rashford coming off the bench. It's not the injuries to Koundé and Balde, who look like they might be injured for a month in the pivotal part of the season once again. What killed Barcelona today was the mountain that they created themselves in the first leg. You cannot lose a first leg 4-0 and expect that you're just going to come back every single time. That's not how things work. Some teams are just going to set up to mitigate your danger. And Atletico Madrid are one of the best teams in the world at doing that. But I will continue to say this Barcelona team, attacking-wise, they can match up against anybody. We saw it against last year, Inter Milan. They said they're the best defensive team in the world. They've only conceded 2 goals. We put 6 goals on them, but we conceded 7. This year, against Atletico Madrid, we scored 3 goals against them. No reply in a comfortable, dominant performance, but you conceded 4 in the first. You conceded 4 in the first. Even last year in the Copa del Rey semifinals, we conceded 4 in the first leg against Atletico. But last year, we were good enough to score 4. So you're not always going to have that situation. We might come up against an Arsenal if we do get that far in the Champions League. They're a great defensive team as well. So this performance, if anything, I really hope that Hansi Flick uses this as a learning experience to know that these sort of games, these sort of knockout tournaments, 2-legged affairs, you don't need to go kamikaze all the way every game, 90 minutes. Play with a bit of calm. Play with a bit of common sense. Understand that there's still 90 minutes to go in the second leg. Okay, we're 2-0 down here. We take the 2-0 and we go back. Okay, we're 1-0 down. Let's settle down the nerves. Let's settle down the crowd. Let's control the tempo. Let's sit back a little bit. Don't just play kamikaze and let yourself lose the game completely. Don't lose the tie in one leg. Of course, we know Barcelona are an incredible attacking side, so they almost came back. But if we're being completely honest, Atletico Madrid gave us the game. Atletico Madrid had no intention on playing football today. No intention on playing football today. And so close, they almost bottled it again. Diego Simeone almost bottled it again. And that's a whole different discussion for another day. But I hope this is a learning curve for Hansi Flick. This is a moment that he uses to learn that it's not every single game you must go in kamikaze. And I really hope he does. Because we can talk about, Hansi Flick is stubborn. This is how he's going to play. This is the hill he's going to die on. And when you lose these sort of games, like today we lost 4-3 on aggregate, you feel a sort of pride. And I do feel pride because this is my club. That's the way you're supposed to go out swinging. That's the way you're supposed to lose games. That's the way you're supposed to lose ties. With a bit of passion, with a bit of effort. You look at the players on the field, they are fatigued by the end of the game because they gave everything. And that's the minimum you ask as a fan, that you give everything. But the manager too needs to put them in the position to do that. The players can't do it all on their own. They can't. And I know Hansi Flick is a good manager, but there are moments as well. You look at the players we have. I've said it before on this channel. We have some of the best players in the world. And when this team is clicking, guys, there's very few teams that can beat us. But at the same time, when this team plays badly, it can get really scary. It can get really, really scary. It can get really scary. And looking to the Champions League, you have Newcastle, 2 legs. Koundé, Balde, both out. Worrying. Very worrying. But ultimately, I expect us to win that. And then the quarterfinals, you might be looking at an Atletico Madrid. You might be looking at a Spurs. Semifinals, if you do get there, I expect Arsenal to be there. Can you manage those sort of games? Can you manage an away leg at the Emirates? Can you manage Arsenal coming to the Camp Nou? They might not be, as forthcoming. They might be a bit more reserved. Can you manage those sort of situations? Because if Barcelona play like that for the rest of the season, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. But of course, let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section down below. Did you agree with some of the points I made? Did you disagree? Who did you think were the best players? Who did you think weren't the best players? How do you see this performance impacting the rest of Barcelona's season? Let me know all of that and a whole lot more down in the comment section down below. As I said at the start of the video, if you like the video, like it. If you enjoy the content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the post notification bell so you never, ever miss out on a video. And as always, take care of yourselves.